What's up everybody? My name is Ahmad at Geiser Performance. Today I'm here with Greg. We're going to be walking you through the easy installation process for the Geiser Performance OEM door kit for the Can-Am X3 Max. Let's get started. Alright, first things first, you want to obviously stay organized. What comes with your kit is what you see here on the table. We recommend getting familiar with everything that comes in the kit so you know what you have, and then lay it out nice and evenly on a table or anything that works better for you. You'll notice that you have tall and shorter screws. The longer screws are actually going to be used with the shims when you're actually doing the adjustments for the doors. Today, Greg and I are going to be starting on the right-hand side of this Max. Go and show them what we got, Greg.
Process by drilling out the rivet that is in the bottom of the door, approximately right here. Then we're going to move on to drilling out the ones in the rear door, which you've got 3 right here, 1 up here at the top, and another one down here on the bottom. Then we're going to use the T30 and a 10mm wrench, and we're going to remove the bolts that hold this lower portion on. Save those bolts because we're going to reuse them. Take that off, throw it down. Not going to reuse any of that. Going to remove this bolt right here. Remove that. Then we're going to go on and remove all the rest of the hardware that's holding the OEM door. After we remove those screws, notice that the door panel will slide off, but it hangs up right here on this little clip right here. So you got to slide it back, and then that panel comes off.
Now we're moving along to the back door. Go and open this up.
Then again, use your 10mm and your T30. Remove the hardware. Move that 10mm. Again, saving the old hardware because again, you're going to reuse that when we assemble the other door. Then remove the cover. Remove all the existing hardware. And then remove this panel. Again, it just slips off to the side. Then we're going to start this process by opening the side door and then just hanging that door on it. I'm going to grab some hardware. We're going to start with the long bolt. Take a washer. Take one of the shims. We're going to stick it through the door, and you're going to line this up. Taking one bolt, we're just going to lightly install the nut. Just to keep it on there. I'm going to grab a second long one. Go through the door. Hit it, man. Then we're going to shut the door. And then again, same process with the rear. Going to slip one of the long bolts through. other one. Always start with the long bolt because generally if you're going to shim on the top. Basically, once you get the doors hung, that's when you start the adjustment process.
All right, Greg, we got the first door on. How do we stand with this guy?
So what we're going to do at this point, we're going to push in on it. Looks like the body lines are in pretty good shape, so we're not going to use any shims on that. We're going to go ahead and move on to installing the lower brackets. To install the lower brackets, what we're going to do is we're actually going to reuse the OEM hardware that we took off prior. You're going to mount one of them in this front and one of them in the back. You're going to take one of the short screws that right there. Take the OEM nut, install that right there, again leaving them loose. Going to do the same thing with the rear.
You'll also notice that the longer bracket is in the front and the shorter bracket is in the back.
What we're going to do now is snug these up, not tighten, snug. Make it so that they'll move around still. Got to put that nut on there.
Can't forget that.
Again, leaving them loose. And what we're going to do is check the bottom fitment, which looks like it's all coming in good. Then at this point, because we're not using any shims, we're going to go ahead and change out the long bolt that we put on the top with the short one. And then we're going to add a washer to the inside for the final tightening.
Never forget your washer.
Then we're going to do the same thing to the rear. the doors, we like to get this as close to flat as we can. So what we're going to do at this point is pull up on the door and then go ahead and tighten this bolt. Then go down to the bottom, tighten this bolt. Then go back, tighten the other two bolts. At that point, you're going to want to go back in and tighten those OEM bolts that we started with. And that's all there is to it. And it's all clearing, everything looks good. Close to lined up right here, everything good. Front's done. Now we move on to the rear. You'll notice that the doors are not aligned. That's where the shims come in. So we take one shim, we hold it up, and look, not gonna be enough. Take a second shim, hold it up, that's going to be perfect. So what we're going to do is pull the existing bolt, slip the door off, slide the two shims on, then we're going to grab a nut and a washer, now if you look at it, it's almost perfect. That's what those shims are for. That's why we use them. Now back here in the back, the alignment is almost perfect. So if we put one of the shims on, it's going to be too much. So that's a perfect alignment. So what we're going to do at this point is we're going to go ahead and mount the lower tie down. Okay, now to finish up the mounting on the back, we're going to use the OEM bolts that we saved. We're going to use the L-type bracket on this. And then one of the short screws with the washer. We're going to go ahead and put the washer and nut on because we're not going to be doing any adjustment to this one. Then we're going to move on to the back. Going to drop it into the hole that lines up. Grab the bracket, the OEM nut and washer, and then repeating with the short bolt, with the washer and nut. Now again, as before, we're going to throw the wrench on the ground. We're going to go ahead and tighten the hardware snug, not tighten all the way. Do the same thing. What we're going to look for is that these brackets line up and are flat along the bottom of the door rail. At that point, you can go ahead and tighten them. Then we're going to go ahead and tighten this top one, which is the one that we were making sure we had the alignment correct on, because it's by far the most important one that we're working with right now. And that's going to be the one in the front here. That's the one that does all our adjustments. Then we'll move on and do the bottom one on this. Then we're going to move to the top on this one. And because, again, we didn't use any shims, we're going to go ahead and change it out for one of the shorter bolts. Then we're going to add a washer, and then we're going to go ahead and tighten it up. Then we're going to add one of the shorter bolts. Add the washer. And we're going to go ahead and tighten that up. And then move to the bottom and tighten that one up. At that point, we check your alignment, look down the side of the car, everything looks good. Got plenty of clearance here, not hitting. All this looks good, lines up nicely in the crack. We're done. Time to start on the driver's side. Okay, at that point, we check the fit. Everything looks good. All the lines are even. Top of the doors lines up nicely. We go forward. Now, we have the finisher plates. They're going to use the small hardware and nuts that come with this. Now, these are available in all the colors of the cars. The gray, the orange, the red, the blue, all available. Now, this particular customer wants them in gold, but this is going to fit right down here in the bottom of the door and give them a background color for the vehicle. Again, this customer wants some gold, so we're going to leave it out on this installation and send these out and get them powder coated for the customer.
Hey again guys, my name's Ahmad at Geiser Performance. Thank you for joining us today for the easy install process for the OEM door kit. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach us out at our shop and email at sales@geiserperformance.com. See you on the flip side.